Welcome back. It's Josh, Flowery Trails Farm. So, been looking at getting a backhoe for my tractor for a while. This is a BH77. Picked this up used. Been looking at them for a while, but this one popped up on Marketplace and it was just too good of a deal to pass up. But now I'm going to be trying to install it on my L2501, and there's not a lot of videos out there. So I figured I'm already noticing things that I wish I would have known, so I thought I'd share them with you guys. If this helps anybody out, then that'll make me happy. So this is the BH4988. Let me double check that. Yeah, BH4988 subframe assembly and installation kit for the BH77. This kit is specific to the standard L series tractor. Like I said, I've got the L2501, so this is the one you would need. I did not know, and neither did the dealer, that it came with the seat mount. The backhoe that I bought used came off of a B series tractor, and so I could not use the subframe that he had. It wouldn't fit this tractor. And on the B series, they don't have an extra seat. Their main seat just swivels around on the tractor. So I almost ordered a seat while I was standing there loading the backhoe into the trailer. So I'm glad I didn't. The other thing that the dealer didn't know that this kit came with is these hydraulic hoses and that little bracket right there. That's for the Power Beyond to power the backhoe. So I also almost ordered, I almost ordered that up, but it was in the box. So this all comes in a big wooden crate, and then all of this stuff right in here is in a little box. Lots of bolts, nuts, washers, hydraulic hoses, brackets, pins, and then those are just loose in the crate. So I'm going to try to install this myself here. The instructions, it does not come with instructions. I found these online by searching around. I will try to include a link in the description so that those are available for you. They're geared towards a dealership installing this. So one of the first things they have you do is remove the rear wheels. I'm going to see if I can do it without removing my rear wheels. They're filled, they're really heavy, and it looks like I should be able to get in there and do what I need to do. So I know the first thing I need to do is remove my 3-point. So I'm gonna get on that, and then I'll touch on anything that I feel like would be helpful or pertinent that I figure out as I go through this, and hopefully help somebody out. All right, I'm gonna get to it. just wanted to show you real quick, if you've never taken these pins out before, you start to pop on that. I just used a big flathead screwdriver. This is a blind pin. It has to come out this way. After you take that, there's a bolt that goes through there. When you take that bolt out, you start to pop it and you loose it and get that. Once the hole is along the edge here, you can kind of slip your screwdriver in and then just start prying it out, and then lift up on your 3-point, take the pressure off, and it'll slide right out. Okay, that's 3-point off. The tools I use to do it, not a big deal. And now I'm ready to see if I can get these under there and where they go and lined up and start getting bolts through with enough room to get a wrench in and get them torqued down without removing the wheels. So here we go. Okay, just want to update you guys on where I'm at right now. I showed you guys the bag of bolts and nuts. Nothing's labeled in there, so, and the instructions are not the greatest. They basically will just say, M14 by 30 Sims bolt, M14 by 45. So basically I used just process of elimination, putting things where they go, just kind of figuring it out. So that's where I'm at right now. I removed, you have to remove the toolbox and this bar that it hooks to, and then they give you this bracket. I don't know, I may just figure something else out. I never liked this toolbox anyway, but this is supposed to go right there. What else did I find? Oh, well, let's see. Right here, this little guy. These are M8 by 20 bolts and M8 nuts. My kit did not have those in it, so I think that was the only thing that was missing. So I ran to the hardware store, got those to hook that bracket on there. If you happen to be going, like I am, from a unit that was on a B series tractor, before you can mount the seat, you have to remove this plate. This plate was on here, and see those two small bolts right there? They're holding on this hydraulic line. And you can see it was over here on this side and go that direction, so I had to spin it around and stick those bolts through there. So just to let you know, you have to do that before. Put your seat on. Attach the seat. I was kind of surprised one of the bolts or the threads in the seat stripped out really easy. So the other three are held tight, but that kind of bummed me out. Anyway, I think that's it so far of what I found with my kit in particular anyway. But I think I'm ready to start bolting things down and getting these actual subframes on there. And I think after that, I'll get onto the hydraulics, which I'm gonna have to figure out because there's no mention in the instructions about what to do if you already have the third function installed here, because typically this power beyond port comes from here down to here, but now it comes into from up there into here. So I'm sure I'll be able to figure it out. But anyway, I'm gonna keep going. Okay, on the right hand side of the tractor, when you're facing it from the back here, you've got this bracket and this bracket and this for your hydraulics. I had those on there already, and you can't get it on there like that, or at least it made it a lot more difficult. So I popped those off, lifted it up, just loosely stuck one bolt on there, and now I'll go around to the front, lift it up, and stick a bolt through there. These things are pretty heavy. Anyway, that's the process I'm using. This piece right here is called the frame bracket. If you get to this piece and you find you cannot get the bolts to go in through these holes, take a look under here. And this is where they go. If it looks like this is actually a rubber plug to protect the threads while they did the powder coat. Here is the one I just pried out of there. That's what that looks like. So I just broke that powder coat and pried it out of there, and then we got threads under there. All right, well, as you can see, it is on. Some time has elapsed, had a few hang-ups, which I will go over now. So subframe went on, no problems, did not have to take the wheels off. Like I said, the instruction manual is basically geared towards a actual shop, and it would definitely probably be faster and easier, but it really wasn't that hard to get them in there, the subframe, and get all the bolts torqued down. Goes in the front there, and then the brackets up under there, right there. So once I got that on, I moved on to the hydraulics, and that's where I ran into my first hang-up. Really, it was a rookie move on my part. I've never messed with hydraulics at all, and I didn't know that there were so many different connectors. So I grabbed just a generic brand. It said they were like, I can't remember what is, just like a generic brand, multi-use, whatever, set of a male and female at the local tractor store, which is North 40 here. Grabbed those. They went on the hoses just fine that came with the kit, but they would not connect up to the fittings that were already on the backhoe. So this female connector here is on the backhoe, and then this male connector here. So I went to the local Kubota dealer, picked up this male fitting and this female fitting, and got those on there, and hydraulics hooked up no problem. The other thing the instructions didn't say was how to plumb this in if you have a third function. Here is the third function I have. Let's see if I can make this focus. There we go. Should be able to see that. So power beyond port there, comes into here, there, and it used to just come from here down right into here. So all I did was interrupt that line. So I came from here, and that comes down under here and connects into right there. Come on. So yeah, so that side of that bracket, it connects in there. And then this one, and these are both lines, these hoses came with the kit. This one, so this used to come and plug into here. So this one now comes from here back to, all the way back to this male connector right here. So it ends up just being a big loop. You just basically interrupt this line that's coming into this port here with that green dot, and that's your power beyond. So once I got that figured out, had hydraulics, went to hook it up. Never hooked one up before, okay? And followed the instructions, even watched some videos, and it just would not go on. I could not even get a pin started on the top. So you've basically got down here, and most of you guys may know this that have one, of course. You've got your pin down here. It's a catch pin. It just rests in that cradle on each side. And then you've got a pin up here, like that. But I could not get those in. I couldn't even get them started, either one. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. Lots of frustration, lots of unhooking, rehooking on the bottom, trying to adjust these stabilizers, you know, pushing on the bucket. I thought, oh, maybe I'm on bumpy ground, unlevel, whatever. I don't know. It just would not go. So finally, here's what happened. I measured the distance from the bottom of that catch hook down here, where that pin rests in, measured from there up to the edge of the hole up here, and measured the same on the backhoe from the outside here to the outside of that pin there. And on each side, I came up with very clearly a 1/16 of an inch difference. The subframe was a 1/16 of an inch too small. Basically, that valley that catch pin lands in wasn't deep enough. So I had to take, and I'll throw pictures up right now. Anyway, all the ridges in it. I didn't get a totally before picture, but you see the one with where I had started sanding on it and grinding on it. So I had to take material out of there on both sides, at least a 1/16. Started going at it. It was a pain in the butt. That's a lot of steel. And then as I got close, I'd mark it up with a marker, go try to install the backhoe, run it back and forth to see my high marks, and then take that out, little grinding wheel, little sanding wheel, and try again. And finally, roll it in there. Now they go on totally smooth. And I'm wondering now, from videos I've watched with guys struggling with crowbars or pounding the pins in with hammers, or some guys just have trouble on one side, I'm wondering if their subframe is slightly out of spec. This one was out of spec. It just was. They were never going to go in there. So I'm wondering if people that have problems may have a little extra material they could sand out of there, grind out of there, whatever. Because now it goes on any way I've got it. Doesn't have to be on concrete, flat, nothing. I just roll once, because once it's on those pins, it's there. It's setting there. You'd have to be on a major slope to have it lift out of there. And once it's there, you don't need to lift it up with these stabilizers. You just slowly roll it up by extending your arm there, and just have one hand on the pin handle, slowly roll it up, and you'll just feel it just slide right in, lock it in there. So that was kind of a fiasco, but got it figured out now, and who knows, maybe that'll help somebody else that's having just trouble installing their backhoe onto their subframe. So I think that's everything that I ran into with the install of the subframe. You know, and who knows, you know, like my subframe was missing a couple bolts, couple nuts. I'm wondering why it had the hydraulic lines in there, but not the connectors. Maybe if you guys get one, your connectors will be in there. But other than that, it was pretty straightforward and it works great. I'm happy with it. So gonna get to digging and get to working.